Hello, and welcome to Body Language by Embody You. I'm Annette Lane, and I'm so glad you're here. This show is where we take a step back from the shoulds and the should nots of social media and really learn what your body is saying and how to speak its language. We're going to dive into topics like gut health, birth control, cycle health, and give you real-world, honest examples of what these actually might mean to you. My goal is to create a space that you can come back to whenever you need a reset or just don't know how to go forward. New episodes will be released weekly, and I cannot wait to take you along with this journey. Let's get started. We're back. Welcome back to another episode of Body Language by Embody You. I'm very glad you guys are here, even though I say that every week. I am, because today's episode is some tough love. And I feel like that's been something I've been working on lately is like, instead of just being super agreeable and like, yeah, I'm talking to girls joining the program, or I'm talking to my friend and she's asking me for advice or whatever it is, I tend to be a really big people pleaser and always just say yes and just be agreeable. And I've decided that doesn't really get people anywhere. And it's also hard to trust someone that's always just agreeing with you. So today I'm going to talk to you guys all about tough love when it comes to your wellness journey, what I would do and what I would say if I wasn't afraid of hurting your feelings, and how you guys are going to get to that next level that you haven't been able to achieve because frankly, you've been standing in your own way. So without further ado, let's get started. So the first thing I want to talk about, like I said, is the fact that you truly are standing in your own way. And that is what I see with a lot of people that I talk to about starting Embody You, especially just because that's obviously what I spend my days doing, is talking about programs and talking about people's wellness journeys and where they're stuck. And 99% of the time, I'm like, hey girl, yeah, you're standing in your own way. Like you are keeping yourself stuck by saying, oh, I'll just start over on Monday, or, I'm going to wait until after I get my job, or I'm going to wait. I actually am going to move soon. I'm going to wait. And we tend to, push off our wellness until we feel like there's going to be a perfect time. My question is, when did taking care of yourself become an option? I hope you brush your teeth and you take a shower, right? That's like hygiene. That's wellness. When did eating good, real food and when did moving our body become an option, right? A lot of us say, oh, I'm just going to wait until I have, other things in line before I do that. And that's why you're stuck. That's why you're backwards, is because your priorities are genuinely flipped. If you put yourself at the top of your priority list and you're like, hey, I need to move my body. I'm going to focus on, what I'm eating, my sleep. I'm going to say no to things that don't serve me. And you start to do that, you become a whole different person. And not only do you feel better, but you actually start saying yes to things instead of out of obligation and because you're a people pleaser, but because you actually have the energy and capacity to say yes, to actually go do those things and to take care of other people. And that's the biggest thing we say in our program all the time is say yes to you, right? Say yes to you so that you can say yes to the people you love, people that are around you. Say yes to you so you can say yes to the dinner, so you can say yes to the date night, right? Say yes to you first, and you will open a plethora of doors that you're able to say yes to because you finally have that capacity to do so. And so stop taking it as an option. Stop standing in your own way and saying, I'm going to wait. Because frankly, the time's not coming. The perfect time where nothing's going to come up, nothing's going to happen isn't coming. You just have to have that identity shift. And that's a really big thing we do with all of our girls. And an exercise that I would challenge all of you to do is write down who your current self is, and then write down whatever you want to call her, your hottest self, your higher self, your best self. Write down who she is, how she talks, maybe how she treats other people, how consistent she is, right? The job she has, the relationship, whatever. And then compare the two and say, okay, who am I now? Who do I want to be? And every time you do something that speaks to that higher self or something she would do, write it down. And you start to create this evidence portfolio, we call it inside our program, of all of the times that you've actually done the thing you said you were going to do, all of the times you've actually showed up as that higher self. So when you fall into a rut, you can go back and look, hey, I've done this before, I can do it again. That's a really powerful exercise for you to realize, I just need to shift my identity. Like I've taken a week off of the gym here and there if I was on vacation, or, I was on a ski trip earlier this year. I was out of the gym for a week, but I've not genuinely missed workouts or skipped a week in the gym just because in 7 years that I've been training. I show up and I do it because that's who I am. That's my identity, right? I am someone who works out. I am someone who chooses to fuel my body with food that makes me feel good. I'm also someone that's so down to go get drinks and dinner, right? You don't have to fit yourself in one box. I think that's also a really big misconception, is that you have to be one version of yourself. And that's so not true. And something I had to learn through honestly being a coach and putting myself in a box and that because you're a coach, you have to be perfect. You can't go out, you can't have drinks, you can't do this and that. You don't have to be in a box. Like, I'm 23 years old. I'm not going to tell myself I'm never going to have fries and a burger again, right? That's not the point of wellness. The point of wellness is saying, no matter what's going on, that's still who I am, right? That's still who I fall back to on the majority of the days when life's mundane and I'm back in routine. I am someone who's focused on my wellness, focused on my health, and I'm not waiting for a day that's never coming. Because again, it's not. And that's why you're stuck. And that's why you haven't gotten there yet, is because you haven't found that day because you've been telling yourself you're going to for how long. And a big thing too, a lot of people also don't understand, is when you feel like you're not consistent, it's because you don't have a plan. There's so much power in having a plan and having structure, whether you need to write it out or, whatever it is. To have an idea of what you're working towards is going to make that goal so much more tangible. Because if you think you're super far away from your goal, it's going to feel hard. It's going to feel impossible. But if you give yourself smaller goals, you're like, hey, I'm going into the gym with a plan. I know this is actually going to bring me where I want to be, not just I'm checking the box of moving my body and hopefully I get results, right? Hopefully I'm just guessing on what I should be eating to actually lose weight, right? Instead of that, you need to have that structure and have that strategy so you can actually stay consistent, because if you know it's going to work and you've seen it work, you continue to do it. It's what we see all of our girls go through, is when they start seeing results, they're hungry for more and they're more consistent than they've ever been. And I'm like, all you needed is a structure and a plan that actually worked. It's not you, right? You just needed to feel confident again. You were deflated. You were defeated. And that's normal. You've spent years doing it in a way that wasn't serving you, that wasn't working. I don't blame you for being burnt out. We all fall into that category sometimes, and it's okay. But again, who's your identity that you fall back to when life gets crazy? I actually had a call earlier today. Hi, Zoe, if you're listening to this. It was fun. We were talking about her joining Embody You, and she just finished up our 14-day challenge, which was so fun. And she told me, well, I'm studying for my MCAT. This might be something that I do after my test. And she was like, is there anything else you want me to know about the program? And I was like, girl, yeah. I was like, well, I'm going to be super honest with you. There's obviously no more time commitment to this program than what you're already doing. If you're already someone who regularly works out, or maybe you're like, I want to feel better, you have to, again, stop standing in your own way and make time. Whether it's 30 minutes at home, you can do that, right? You can make 30 minutes. You can stop scrolling or, get up a little bit earlier, whatever it is. You can make time. And then B, you're eating, right? I'd hope so. Okay, let's have structure behind those meals. Let's have strategy. There's no more time commitment. And what you actually could do for yourself is say, wow, look at how much more studying I'm getting done because how much more energy I have and how much more focus I have. And I'm going to show up to my test. I'm going to feel so good. I got a great night's rest. I'm feeling strong. I'm feeling, powerful, smart, ready, energized. And then you're going to apply to med school and you're going to feel great about it, right? You're going to show up to all of the, fun things you have going on, or the dinners or the bars out that you'd probably spend this money on, and feel super confident, right? It's not fun to get dressed for the bar right now, is it? Probably not, right? It's not fun to get dressed when you're in a body that you're not loving, that you look at yourself in the mirror and you're like, I'm not confident, right? I don't feel like my best self. It's not fun. But instead, if you were to say, hey, I'm going to take this, money that I would normally spend at the bar or at a dinner out or whatever, Starbucks, and I'm actually going to start working on my wellness, or even if it's, at home workouts that you find on YouTube, or it doesn't have to be, any crazy expensive gym membership. But when you start working towards it, you're going to feel better in all the other things you do. Because I'll tell you why you're stuck is because you just made an excuse for something that's coming up, which is the reason why you can't get started. And you keep doing that. There's always going to be something. After your MCAT, it's going to be applying to med school. After med school, it's going to be your first semester. After your first semester, when you're on break, it's going to be the fact that your semester is starting up again. And you are going to keep going and you're going to keep feeling stuck. Life's not getting easier. We're not getting younger. We're going to start having more career opportunities, children, a marriage. Life's not slowing down. And I can tell you right now, if you solidify these habits, they will stay with you. When you're going through all of these life changes, they will stick with you when you're starting your residency, when you are getting engaged and planning a wedding. There's so many different areas of why this is so beneficial long term. And again, it's a short-term investment for a long-term result. I tell everyone too, when they join our program, is we teach you how to do it. You're not just going to spend time with Embody You and be like, that was fun. Now what? Now what do I do? You're going to have all of the tools you need to be successful long-term in your journey, to schedule your own workouts, calculate your own macros, all of that stuff you're going to have. And so, yes, it's a short-term commitment, investment, whatever. And after that, you have wellness for the rest of your life. That's kind of where our conversation got started. And it ended up being a really good conversation. And she was like, you're right. Like, you're totally right. That's why I'm stuck. I just wanted to share that because I think it's such a universal experience. And again, I'm super understanding and I try to be that way, right? But again, with being agreeable, I was like, that's kind of a coachable moment. And when I was stuck in that headspace, I wish someone would have been like, Hannah, tough love. Let's talk about what's actually going on, right? The conclusion you're actually drawing in your head of why you can't do this and why, you don't have what you want is because you're stopping yourself from getting it, right? It's normal to feel uncomfortable. And Catherine, hi too, if you're listening. We had a call yesterday and she signed up for the program, but we talked all about just kind of wanting to feel in control and feel safe in your body. And when you are doing something that's uncomfortable, or you're spending money that's uncomfortable, or, you're committing to this program because it's uncomfortable, your body is going to feel that way, but it's okay. It's a good thing. Anxiety is what's trying to keep you safe and it's screaming at you. Intuition is the thing that's like, you should do it. You're going to be okay. Everything's going to work out. It's going to be worth it. You're going to see success. You actually can do it, right? There's a lot of things that our anxiety stands in the way of, and being okay, just putting wellness to the side for certain things and not having that identity is one of them. And that is a key switch I see in all of our girls that end our program. They don't just say like, I'm never going to the gym again. They go to the gym, they work out, right? They exercise. That's a part of their routine. That's a part of their life. And all they needed was some structure and something that worked for them to actually want to stay consistent. And with Catherine too, after the program, after she signed up, she was kind of like, oh my gosh, like, what if this doesn't work? What if my finances change? Or what if this, and this? And I'm like, it's okay, right? It's okay. We will figure it out. But we're also worrying about something that has not happened yet, that might not happen. And it's another control thing. And it's another way anxiety is controlling you right now. So we need to take a step back and remember everything works out as it always does. And this is a way we can actually start to take that back, because one of the big things she was wanting to do with our program is start to learn her body, learn her hormones, feel in control again. And I was like, this is literally a control thing, right? You don't want to feel like you are unsure of the future. You're anxious about what could happen. Let's come back to ourselves, remind ourselves that everything's okay right now. Everything's fine, right? We will work it out. Everything will work out how it's supposed to. Your body's trying to keep you safe. That's why it's raising these red flags and like, hey, back out. Hey, you can't do it. Hey, this isn't this. And you need to tell that part of you, it's okay. We're okay. This actually is safe, right? This is actually going to be beneficial for me. It's going to help me actually find what I truly want and truly need, not just listening to my anxiety that's trying to pull me every which direction all the time. And that's kind of the fun of it, is I feel like part of my job is speaking to myself and speaking to a past version of me that needed to hear these things. Because to be honest, if what are people paying me for if I'm just agreeing with them? What if they were like, Hannah, I want to do this, this, and this, and this is how I've been eating. And I'm like, okay, right? They came to me to learn. They came to me for change. They came to me to find out what actually works for their body. And I think a really big part of that is still holding them accountable like they initially asked me to, but then being able to kind of help them see the other side. It's out of love always. And that's kind of the topic today, right? Tough love, of leaning into that with my clients and telling them, hey, I'm advocating for your higher self. I'm already standing with her because I know she's in there. We just have to get you to meet us, right? We just have to get you there. I'm going to walk with you through it. It's not going to be easy. If it were easy, I wouldn't have a job. No one would have trouble getting to where they want it to be if it were easy. And people give up and life gets hard and it gets put on the back burner. And I'm always here to remind you, hey, get back up. Hey, it's a Tuesday, start over. You don't have to wait for next week. Get up and make your bed, right? Get up and just move your body. Even if it's been 2 weeks, just do it, right? And the more you stay stuck and you think it has to line up perfectly, everything has to be perfect, the more you're going to stay stuck, right? I say it all the time, but do it messy. It doesn't have to be perfect. It can be messy and it can be messy action. Just do it. It's how I film this podcast. I talked about it in a previous episode and also on my Instagram. But when I start to get too in my head or scroll too much, or I'm like, what would be the perfect podcast episode? Should I start scripting? Should I start, making bullet points? And I'm like, no, I just need to take messy action. I just need to do it. And I don't need to have it so perfectly to produce an episode or to just talk. Like I want to talk from the heart. I want to talk about things that are on my mind. And if I think of an episode and I just sit down and start talking, like that's what I want it to be. I'm not going to wait for like the perfect time or the perfect structure to get started. And that too transfers straight over into my health and wellness. So I want you to ask yourself, what are things right now that I am letting stand in my way? What are things right now that I'm saying I can't do this until I blank? What is that thing? And instead of looking at it as a reason why you can't get started, I want you to look at it as a catalyst to why you should get started. Okay, well, I'm starting my dream job. Okay, great. That's fantastic. If it's your dream job, don't you want to enjoy your dream job? Don't you want to show up to your dream job and feel confident and beautiful and command a room and feel like your best self? Feel like you have energy, not just lagging all day, waiting to go home and scroll and lay in your bed, thinking about that workout that you should probably do, but you're going to talk yourself out of because is it even going to make a difference? The nutrition that you tried to pack in your lunch that you're like, what should I even be eating? Well, this sucks. I should just eat a salad and, be hungry all the time to lose weight. So is it a burden or is it the catalyst? Is it the reason that you should actually start taking this seriously? The reason why you should actually chase those results and do something different? I just got engaged, so I'm going to wait until after my wedding. Well, don't you want to feel like your best self on your wedding day? Can you imagine how crappy you would feel to be on your wedding day and like worried about how your dress is sitting and like your arms in every picture and wait, make sure the videographer only gets me from this angle? That sounds pretty exhausting. So is that your burden or is it your catalyst? Hey, I'm actually going to move home this summer. I'm just wrapping up school right now. And when I get home, it would probably be a better time. Okay, for sure. Your routine's about to change, right? You're going to go home. Things are going to change. But what if you already had those habits cemented beforehand and you get home and now it's like, okay, I'm going to take the things that I was doing at school and just make them work here, right? I could find a gym or I could work out from home. Maybe my parents are cooking now, but I actually know how to eat because I was learning about it, right? I actually know how to build my plate, even if I'm not the one cooking. I know how much protein I should be eating. Like I know what it feels like to eat a full day of eating instead of getting home and then letting summer come and all of the other obligations that you have. Maybe you're working, maybe all your friends are home too. It's going to keep getting pushed past. So is it a burden or is it a catalyst? I want you guys to keep asking yourself that. Is what I am putting my wellness aside for a burden or is it my catalyst? Is it a reason that I could actually get started? Catherine and I were talking about this yesterday. She's moving, right? She's going to get a new job. She literally said to me, it could be my catalyst to show up to my new apartment, my new city, my new job. She's moving states and already have those cemented habits and routines because when I get there, I'm going to be focused on moving in all the other crazy stuff. My wellness is still going to be there with me. I'm still going to have to think about what I'm eating for dinner, right? I'm still, even if moving takes me a couple days, yeah, so be it. That's my exercise. Okay. Then I'm in my apartment. Then what? Right? We like to think that it's going to take so much longer and that we can't focus on anything else, but it's just not true. Like you're going to live and do the things to stay alive, like eat and drink water and move and all of that stuff while you're going through that process. But if you're standing in your own way and saying, hey, this is the reason why we can't get started, it's the reason why you don't have what you want. And again, I say it all out of love because when I was in this position, I needed someone to be like, Annette, let's get real, girl. Come back to earth, right? Like there's no reason why you can't start doing certain things that are going to make you feel better. I don't want to hear how, crappy you feel if you're not doing anything about it. And that's literally what I had to start saying to myself. But also I was at the other end of the spectrum where I was doing so much. I was working out 2 times a day, eating like 1,200 calories, seeing no change. And then it was like a no-brainer to me. I'm already going to be doing these things. Why not have some structure behind it? And also I worked out half as much and ate double and saw results. So it was almost like my life got easier when I figured out how to do it the right way. So either way, it's going to be beneficial, whether you're already doing these things and you're like, Annette, I am trying to take care of myself. Okay, let's get some structure behind it. Let's give you the results you deserve. Or, hey, Annette, yeah, no, I'm not doing anything. Okay, then why are you complaining? Then you should be able to say, hey, I'm not doing anything. It's probably why I'm not feeling the best. It's probably why I don't have what I want, right? And so get real with yourself. That's my best big sister advice to you. And what I would say to you again, if I'm not afraid of hurting your feelings, because that's what makes us become better is challenging our thoughts, challenging, the part of us that just wants to stay safe and stay comfortable and complacent. Complacency sucks. No one wants to live an average life and feel average all the time. Like you want to feel optimal. You want to feel like your best self, and you can if you let yourself. So those are my biggest things I wanted to talk to you about today. were to stop standing in your own way, stop just being complacent and saying yes, and really putting yourself at the top of your priority list and making it happen, right? You don't need a perfect time, a perfect scenario, a perfect plan to get started. You just need to say yes. I'm going to do it. You need to change that identity and say, this is who I am now. And it's hard, it's sticky, it's going to be tough. And then you're going to cement the habits and you're just going to do it, even when you don't want to. And you're going to feel like the best version of yourself, I promise. As always, if you have any questions, you're like, Annette, I don't know where to start. I don't know what to do. Talk to me. Send me a message on Instagram, comment on this, whatever it is. I will help you get started, whether it's giving you as much advice as I can, sharing a guide with you. Like if there's anything you need or you want to talk through it with me, please always reach out. I'm a resource. If you are interested in learning more about Embody You, the application is below. If you fill it out, we'll hop on a completely free 15-minute phone consultation just to talk about the program, hear about your goals, see if it would even be a good fit to move forward. No pressure at all, just to get to know you a little bit and see if Embody You is the right fit. So that's everything. As always, you know I love you. This is things that I say out of complete love and wanting the best for you and giving you all of the resources that I wish I had that would have made my journey a lot shorter and way less stressful. From the teacher in me to the teacher in all of you, thank you so much for being here today. I will see you next week.